In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make modern pop music, kind of like a modern trendy vibe that you would hear on the radio or on the charts nowadays. And to do that, I made a really trendy song right now called Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, and I'll break down my remake of the song's elements, the sounds of those elements, the mixing, the structure and arrangement, all that jazz. So hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you can make a song in a similar modern pop style to this one. Set the tempo around 105 BPM. Start off by making some piano pad chords. They're very long chords, as you can see. But that's what the structure of the song is really based off of, just these very long chords that take up 2 whole bars like that. I used 3 presets to accomplish this sound. I used this piano pad preset from Flex, this chords preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 1, and this pad preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 2, I think. So this one's like a calm ambient pad. This one's like some calm, more attacking chords. And then this one is a mellow piano with some pad influence as well. For mixing, all I put on here was this EQ on here. It's just taking out a good chunk of the lows so that when we make a bass later, these lows don't counteract and make it sound weird in the mix. And then boosting a little tiny bit of the highs to get some of that higher end elevated in the mix as well. Next, chop up those chords and make it stab. These are just the same chords as earlier, but just shortened a lot over 3 squares like this. And I used this chord preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 3. And I put a similar EQ on here, just taking out a lot of those lows, but boosting up these frequencies over here because they were kind of missing and lacking. Anywhere where like the heat map wasn't really showing, I just raised them up. And I put a Fruity Blood overdrive on here with the color turned all the way up to really give some extra amplification to the stabbing nature of the chords, and to also give some higher end crispiness with the color as well. Next, take the same chords and put them into a guitar preset. This is just to add some extra flavor and variance into the mix and make it stand out and sound less dull and boring. I use this Daisy Rock acoustic preset from Flex. For mixing, I have the same EQ from the long chords from earlier for the same reasons, just taking up that higher end a little bit to get some more higher end texture, because we really want the texture of this sound to stand out in the mix and make it sound cool. Next, take the bass notes from the chords and chop them up into a bass preset. And by bass notes, I just mean like the root notes of the chords. Like if it's a D chord or a B chord, then you'll take the root notes of the chords, chop them up into a rhythm like this. Very simple rhythm. I use 2 bass guitar presets from Flex to accomplish this sound. I use this one down here and then this one over here. You really want that acoustic bass guitar sound. Try to get a more natural sounding bass guitar as possible. I also just took the beginning notes right there, extended them out a little bit, and made a sub bass out of them. Kind of just to help with the lower end for those bass guitars. And I use this low end support sub bass preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 3. And together, the 2 basses sound like this. So you can kind of hear that low end support in the beginning to help really get the bass going. Next, make a simple melody. Keep it very simple. It's something that could be easily repeated over and over again, as it will be in this song. The main structure of the melody is the same thing, just copy and pasted, but with these notes turned down 1 to be these notes over here. So yeah, just very simple, nothing too crazy, something that could be easily repeated and you won't get sick of. I use 3 presets to accomplish this sound. I use this preset from Flex, I use this piano pad preset from earlier from Flex, and then I use this pluck preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 1. So the main sound is more like a synth pluck sound, however this piano pad just helps to elevate that sound and give it more strength and body, but generally just aim for a plucky sound. Now for the drums. I have a kick. Make sure it's like a more acoustic sounding kick, but it's very light and short. I layered 2 snares over here. I have this one, then I have this one. So make sure they're light, kind of lo-fi snares that are also more on the acoustic side as well. I made this hat loop down here on my own with just the 808 hi-hat, the default one in FL Studio. On every other step. I have this shaker loop. And I have this tambourine loop as well. And all together, the drum loop sounds like this. And again, something that could just be easily repeated all throughout. See, this is the exact same drum loop throughout the entirety of the song. There's no change to it whatsoever. And for mixing, all I really did for these samples is put this Fruity Blood Overdrive on here with the main knob turned all the way up to give it some boost of amplification, the color turned all the way up to elevate the texture of the sound, and then the filter turned up a little bit of the way like that, just so that it's not too harsh of a sound and it can kind of just rest easy and flow throughout the rest of the track. It's a slight little difference that kind of tones down those higher ends and it can just flow better throughout the rest of the track and easily repeat. Now for the structure and arrangement of this track. So I kind of broke this up into a chorus, a pre-chorus, and then an intro. For the intro, I only have the melody playing along with the drum loop that we made. And as you progress through the song, you just add more and more. You don't subtract or replace. So for the verse, pre-chorus, whatever you want to call it, I have the same thing from earlier, except I just added the chord stab in the sub bass, kind of start building a vibe over here. And then for the chorus, I just put everything all together. I have the melody, the chord stab, the sub bass that we had still going, the chopped up bass guitar, the guitar chords, the piano pad chords from earlier, and then the same drum loop as well throughout the entire track, like I already said. So yeah, this is the entire structure and arrangement of the track right here as a visual. And after all that, here's the final result.